Scripted, isn't it? Trent turns up, comes on the pitch late on, and scores the winner, giving Liverpool one more game to go. 3 more points to get to potentially seal the deal and win the league. We'll chop that up after this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Well, Trent does it. Much maligned figure turns up and produces the goods for Liverpool in a game where Liverpool weren't at their best, but overall were the most dominant team, just not creating enough chances really to put a troublesome team like Leicester away. Leicester probably created a few chances really that Liverpool shouldn't let them produce in a game that was heavily dominated. It just kind of feels that Liverpool just walk into the line. They're not jogging, they're not running, they literally walk into the line, to the finishing line. At the moment now, it looks like we've got to wait to see what happens against Crystal Palace, against Arsenal. If Crystal Palace do the business, then the title's done. If Crystal Palace don't do the business, then Liverpool's game against Tottenham, I believe, is the one where we'll see Liverpool win the league. It's inevitable. It'll be nice to see Liverpool get their canter and really go for maximum points and sort of lead into a really good potential next season with the signings and stuff like that Liverpool hopefully will get. And the evolution as well of Slot's team style. Because at the moment, it kind of feels that the last, I'll say, 10 games, and this includes the PSG games, etc., and the losses to Newcastle in the actual cup final, that, and probably includes Plymouth in that as well, that Liverpool just aren't that controlling force that we saw at the start of the season. And Slot definitely needs to reinvigorate the squad for next season coming and really cement his style of football into the team, because it's not going to be easy next season, for sure. I can see Arsenal really sort of stepping up. You need to see that from Tata. And off the back of, if they get into the final, the Champions League, and even they win it, I think you'll see an Arsenal really roaring to go next season, backed up with money. Man City, again, filling game yesterday against Villa, poor Villa. Basically last minute goal for Man City, put them third into Champions League places. You kind of know that Pep will step it up again next season. Just out of machismo, he wants to see and show everyone that he's the man. And then you got teams like Aston Villa stepping up. You got teams like Brighton. I don't think we've seen Brighton's real. I know we're not talking about Champions League, we're not talking about league winning, but that Brighton always normally do something and they always configure themselves in those kind of sort of 5th, 6th, 7th places. So those under teams like Nottingham Forest, who've done really well, I think are going to really grow again, and they're going to knock points off teams like Man City, teams like Liverpool, teams like Man United, teams like Arsenal. And again, Arsenal, look, potentially that could see, Arsenal, Man United, that could see Man United under Amrin really stepping up with some better acquisitions, some players that is hard. His players, you could see them getting some foothold back in terms of where they should be. So Liverpool can't take this for granted. In a game where you would expect Liverpool to beat Leicester, who Leicester now are cemented in terms of that's it, they're relegated. If they got a positive result against Liverpool, 3 points, then they had to go on an unbeaten run to the end of the season, and you're never going to see that happening. They're a team that probably shouldn't be fully where they are, and probably should have kept to their manager and not changed to Van Nistelrooy, to be honest with you. But they're always a potential threat. And in a game where Liverpool had Alisson in goal, Konate, Virgil, Robbo rested, which he should have been, and Tsimikas playing, and Bradley there. Bradley basically is currently trying to show that he should be the person to replace Trent. I think that's a challenge. I think if Liverpool are looking to be that team, I don't think Bradley's your starting player. I think Bradley's just your player developing under someone who is a starting player, someone who's very elite in the right back position. But I don't see Bradley as being the main guy. Maybe I think if Frimpong, that kind of player, I don't think, obviously, it seems like Trent will be going. We'll talk about that a bit more. So I feel Bradley needs to have another year working under someone else, or playing alongside someone else. Then obviously you've got the Gravenberch in midfield, your McAllisters, your Szoboszlais. Then it was Gakpo left. Then it was Salah, obviously. And then we had Diaz in the centre, which is a position that he flitters between left and centre now. So really, that's a team that you'd expect to beat Leicester. And I kind of felt as a game there, Liverpool didn't really kind of go full throttle, I didn't feel. I kind of felt Liverpool dominated the game. Salah had a chance, hit both posts, should have went in. He had a few chances where balls were crossed in from Gakpo, and then he was there to then sort of try and finish, or, saves by the keeper. He played okay, but I think it's been about 9 games now that Salah's not scored a goal. So, that's something that for a player that wants to be the golden boot, etc., it's going to be a challenge for him, and he probably wants to get some goals in before the season ends. Gakpo seemed like he was just getting himself back in again. Steady game, not that great. Diaz was good. Then went to the left-hand side. Szoboszlai, again, we're not seeing enough creativity from him. We know the man can run for England or run forever, but, creativity is the one piece that he needs to get into this game. And that'd be a challenge, because we may well see a signing there who is more creative, and we're going to need it, especially without Trent for next season. We're going to need a creative player. Maka was man of the match. I thought Maka was steady. Didn't think it was any superlatives to say about that. Gravenberch was okay. I just still Gravenberch is a player now who's tired and is just getting through the season. I feel that he really needs a bit of a rest. And next season, be interested. I mean, next season, will we put a Bajcetic in there? He's doing pretty well at the moment, it seems like. He could be a player that comes in there and actually challenges Gravenberch, or is that understudy Gravenberch with potentially Endo moving on? It'll be interesting. We know right and left we're going to need signings. Robbo's not to be a starter. Tsimikas probably is on his way out. So we definitely need to see some acquisitions, and I would say world-class acquisitions for sure. There's obviously to talk about Huijsen coming into centre midfield. Konate's contract needs to be sorted. Virgil, obviously, we know signed pen to paper. That's just fantastic. Salah signed pen to paper. That's fantastic. Alisson obviously is there, and potentially Bradley's going to be gone. And Bradley's been fantastic. I'm sorry, not Bradley. Kelleher's been fantastic, and it's a pity that we couldn't have Kelleher and Alisson playing new games. Kelleher's been great, but Alisson is a level above. He's a great player, and I think the right thing to do for Kelleher now is to let him be signed and go to another team. I really feel that the guy needs an opportunity somewhere where he can be number one. But, let's not underestimate all that work he's done for us. He has been a star. He totally has. And, I've got nothing bad to say about him whatsoever as a keeper, especially when we have some of the ones that we have, like Karius. It's great to have a understudy like we've had in Kelleher. So, look, Liverpool dominated the game. We did let City have chances. They hit the post, which was, and then there was a couple of saves that Alisson had to do. Not too bad. Goal disallowed. Well, it was a foul on the keeper as far as I'm concerned. There's nothing to be said about it. But on comes Trent and send it off minute, 76th minute, volley, puts it in the back off a deflection, going in on target anyway. Takes his top off, puts in a flag. Read what you will out of it. There was boos when he came on, and I hear that. I personally don't think we should be booing him. I feel respect the effort he's done, respect what he's done for us. 100-something odd goal and assist for Liverpool. Respect that. Respect it. Please, I don't expect anyone to be singing his name. Because at the end of the day, you shouldn't be singing his name. Shouldn't be singing his song. But he's our player. Applaud him onto the pitch. You know, support him. But don't be booing him. In-house, deal with it in-house. We know what he's done is not right. We know potentially he's gone. And even the after-match interview just makes it feel like he's gone. But booing him, I think we don't need to be doing that. I think we're classier than that. And I think we need to give respect to the guy. Yeah, he's turned up for us. He's delivered for us consistently. You know, you can see we're not the same creativity team when he's not there. Those passes from right to left that him and Robbo used to do, the marauding down the wing that him and Robbo used to do, you know, the crosses, pinpoint, lovely deliveries that he used to do. We can't forget that. We can't. With respect. Just respect him. He goes, he stays. Respect the player. Yeah? Don't expect anything else than that. That's a basic you should expect from Liverpool fans to a Liverpool player. And a Liverpool player who's delivered us results that he has done. Let me know what you feel about the match. Let me know who your man in the match was. If you're happy with the starting squad, etc., etc. What you feel about Trent. Click on notifications, like and subscribe, and share. Very important algorithms. Let's see what happens. We've got Arsenal against Crystal Palace. The league could be done for the weekend. Speak to you on the other side.